Hello guys, today we're going to look at how you can generate color palettes for your design project. So I'm going to show you three major ways that you can easily get this kind of color palettes, and it doesn't matter the number of scales that you want to get, this method works for almost all of them. So let's get into the video. Okay, so for this tutorial, this is the color we're going to be using, and I already created a slot for all the colors and the primary color here. So I have 9 scales: 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4 plus this, which makes it 9. So one major rule you need to know when you're trying to generate color palette is that your major primary color should be at the center of the scale. So let's say, for example, you want to have x number of color scale. It doesn't matter the number, but make sure that your major color is always going to sit at the middle. So as you can see, I have nine color scales. Some might have eight, some might have eight, and some might have more numbers like 10. It doesn't matter, but the most important thing is that this color must be at the center. Although sometimes you might have more than the light, and sometimes you might have more light than the dark shades. It doesn't really matter, but make sure that your primary color is always going to be at the center. So it's just like the color is branching. Let me draw a line. So it's just like the color is going up and down. So I want to show an arrow. So just like you have one going up and you also have another one going down, just like that. That's how the color palette works. So we're going to get shades of this through this first method. This is the manual method, so you can decide to use this if you want to go manual, and there are two other options that I'm going to show after this one. So let's start with this one. So the first thing I'm going to do is, once I have the color, I just duplicated the color into two rectangles, and I'm now going to have a white and a black, right? So just the same size of rectangle, a white and a black. So I'm just going to layer this one on top. So let me bring it to the front. So I'm going to place it on top of the white, and I'm going to also place this one on top of the black, right? So now in this case, we want to have this as a group, just as a group, and also have this as a group. So what I will do here is, I'm using 100 scale, right? So if I'm using 100 scale, I want to split it into 4, so I can have 25 50 75 100. Then I will have 25 50 75 100. So that's what I'm trying to achieve. So, and as you can see, I have my white and my black, the one that has black behind it and the one that has white behind it. So what I'll do to both of them is, I'll come to the main color here and I'll drop it to 25%, right? Let's start from 75, since I'm going from the main color down. So let's do 75. So the lighter one will come down or up, whichever direction you want to face. So I like to put the darker ones at the top and the lighter ones at the bottom. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to change to the color picker, and I'm going to select this for this shade. Then I'm going to do the same for this and select this. Right now, let's select it again and go from 75 to 50. Right, so I'm going to select this, and I'm going to select this. Now let's go to 25. So as you can see, it's only the opacity of the major color, which is the purple, that I'm dropping. So I'm not touching the white and the black. So I'm going to select this again. I'm going to select this, right? Then finally, I'm supposed to drop to 0, but at this point I don't drop completely to 0, because I still want to have a shade which is the darkest and the lightest shade. So sometimes I drop to 10 or 15. So if I use 10, this is what I will have. And that's it. That's how you can easily generate a color palette manually, right? So we've been able to generate this color palette with the manual method. That is the first method. So we are going to go to the second method. So I'm going to make a duplicate of this and just place it here while I bring this to this side. Then I'm going to remove these colors for all of these other shapes except the major color, right? So um, let me just fill them all with white, right? So now to the second method. So the second method is by using a plugin. So there's a particular plugin that you can easily use to generate your color palette very easy. So I'm just going to open my plugin. I'm going to search for a plugin called Foundation. I think Foundation Colors. Yeah, Foundation Color Generator. So once I open it, this foundation color generator is following the rules of some major design systems, popular design systems that you know. So we have the Orbit, we have Atlassian, we have Material, and we have Ant Design. So most of the time I like to use Material Design, right? And as you can see, this is whichever color you put here will be generated as a you get the palette here. And this one also have is also showing you that the 500 is the major color, right? That's the meaning of this. That's why you're seeing this box on this. So we have 1 2 3 4 5, then we have 1 2 3 4. So you can see it's not like as equal as mine. So we can use this foundation color generator plugin to generate our color palette, and we're going to try and use it now. So I'm going to get the color code of this purple, and I'm just going to place it here. So once I place it here, it gives me the color, the color scale, right? So now you can give it a name, like say purple. And two things you can do with this plugin, and which is why I really like this plugin. Sometimes you can generate your color palette, and you can also create star. So when you're creating star, if you look at my right hand panel, I have this gold color star. So this is a star that I've created and I've saved on this document. I can use it and reuse it anytime. I don't have to use the eyedropper tool to go and get it from somewhere. So that's what the color star means. So you can also use this color palette generator to easily get these colors created in your styles panel, and also generate a palette. So we're going to do both. So I'm going to create style first, and you can see once the moment I create style, it just creates it immediately, and that makes it very nice. And the second thing you can do here is to generate the palette. So once I click this, it will take some seconds and generate a palette. So this is the palette that it has generated. And I'm going to bring it right here. So we don't have to, I just created this although, but this thing is just going to create the whole frame and arrange it, even put the color codes for you, the RGB code, and it's going to give you the names. And this is just very nice, just like it already has a template, and we can just expand this to match the height of the others. So let me just expand this to match this height. Yeah, so that's it. There you go. This is another method. This is method 2. So since this method 2, let's just move this here and use this for method 3. So this method 3 is not automatic. So and one thing about this one is that sometimes you might not get the very best light shade. So when you're getting your color scale from this plugin, but you can easily adjust it manually if you need something lighter, right? Because usually when you create color palettes, they are not always one size fits all, because there are times that you might need things that are outside it, or you might need another shade of the color that is not in the color palette, and you just have to create. So just like the naming convention here, you can see from 50 to 900. So let's say you need something between 800 and 900, you can create 850, right? You can also do, maybe you need something between 100 and 200, you can create 150. Let's say you even need something between 150 and 200, you can create like 175, or maybe between 100 and 150, you can create 125. Whichever way you like, you can be very flexible with it. But this is just to give you the foundation, just like the name implies, is a foundation. So the third method is to use AI. So ChatGPT is very useful for everybody, not just designers, not just developers, not just writers. It's useful for everybody. So as designers, we can also use ChatGPT to get our color palette, which is what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this color code. Then I'll go to ChatGPT. So inside ChatGPT, I'm just going to give it a prompt, just a very simple prompt. I can say generate a 9 scale color palette for this color. Then I'll paste the color code, and ChatGPT will just do its magic and give you the color palette. As you can see, the color palette is already in the Xcode, and it has even given it a name, right? So the major one will always be the 500, and as you can see, so if I'm going to, let me copy this. So I'm going to copy this and use it to confirm. Let me paste it here. Yeah, you can see that it's the same as the first one that we created, right? As in original color. So that's the number 5. So let's go from number 1. So you said this is light, so I want to start my own light from the bottom. So I'll just be pasting the color codes here. So I'm going to speed up this video at this point so that this video will not get too long. All right, so this is what ChatGPT gave us, and this is the manual one. So let me name it. This is manual, this is plugin, and this is AI. Right, so let me just put this two at the top. So let me place this beside this one to compare. So as you can see, they look similar, but the darker shades of my own they look like they are far darker than the ones that the AI gives. So it's left to you. You can can compare, contrast, make your own judgments from this. But these are just majorly 3 methods that you can use, and whichever one works for you is up to you. And I think the fastest one is the plugin, and next to the AI, and this one is the slowest, right? You have to do this manually because so this one is like semi-manual. ChatGPT will give you the code and you input it and you get it. So I hope this helped you. I hope you learn a thing or two from this. And yeah, if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. And if you can share the video. So I will see you in the next video. Bye.